Welcome to my YouTube channel and to my workshop. At the moment I'm building a project layout for a customer in California, and as is the case with many round the room layouts, it is necessary to cross a doorway. Now there are several ways of doing it. One can have a basic lift out section, or we can have a hinge flap which goes up or down, but wherever there is sufficient space to do so, I like a hinged gate arrangement. So let me show you how I built the one for this layout. Well, here is the swing bridge framed up. Unfortunately, in the workshop, these two sections are floating. The two ends of the fixed benchwork need to be firmly attached to the walls. Otherwise, this is always going to be hit and miss. So there's a little bit of guesswork here as to where it goes. But once these two sections are firmly anchored, it won't be a problem. And also the bottom of this leg needs to be anchored to the wall so it can't move. Notice how the hinge pin is well back from the corner. The natural reaction when designing it would be to want to put the hinge pin here, but it doesn't have to be. If it was, then the opening would be narrower by the width of the section. But with the hinge well back, look what happens when I open it. See how it comes forward and then back. So now we have an almost full width opening. I could have moved it another couple of inches back, but that would mean that the end would be further that way. And I'm already getting narrow here. So this was the compromise to get the maximum width entry into the room. And eventually there will be a sliding bolt here, but I'm not going to put that on until the fascia is installed. Now the one complexity with moving the hinge well away from here is the wiring, because the wire needs to enter here as close to the hinge barrel as possible. So let me move the camera to a better location. Wires. So when it comes to getting the feed wires to the rails on this section, I'm going to route them along the top of this wood and then go through there so that they come out near the hinge barrel and then go through that leg and come back up into here. Otherwise I'm likely to end up with the wires getting pinched. Well, this is what the hinge gate looks like with the track installed. Notice how the track is cut on an angle here, because the back rail has to miss the near rail when it opens. Now I have very small gaps here at the moment because I don't know exactly where it's going to end up in the room. So I want to give myself the maximum adjustment possibility. It's a lot easier to file the rail ends in situ than it is to take the track out and put a longer piece in. Notice how I had to shim up this piece because alignment is very important. Obviously I can't use rail joiners. The other end I think I still need some adjustment. So I put this one in first and I think this one is slightly low. So I'm going to have to slide a knife blade in under here and shim it up. And although I haven't done so yet, it also helps to chamfer the inside corners of the railheads. Now something else to consider when laying the track on a hinge gate like this. Although it's less than 3 feet wide, you'll notice there's a track joint in the centre of it. That is because one rail of the flex track is fixed in the ties and the other one is free to slide. Now if I put one piece across, then one rail would be free to slide and it can easily move out of position. So rather than glue it, I just cut the track and turned one piece around so one end of each rail is fixed. Well, I've shimmed this piece of track up slightly. I think it was about a 20 thou piece of styrene that I used. And although the height is now perfect, it's trying to spring outwards a bit because of the curve. You see this is quite a sharp curve leading into it. And it's trying to spring out, so it doesn't line up very well. The problem here is that the foam is too flexible. So even when it's glued to it, it still wants to move, or it's still able to move slightly. What I think I'm going to do is cut back the pink foam and the road bed 3/4 of an inch, and then cut a block of wood, glue that in there, and attach the track directly to the wood. That way there will be no flexibility, and I can hold it rigid. So let me carefully hack that away, and I'll be right back. Well, with this block of wood now holding the end of the track firmly, I don't think I'm going to have any more problems with the alignment. Of course, I've got to leave those nails in until that glue sets up nice and hard. It only took a few minutes to do it. I don't think I need to do the other one, but I might come back and do it later anyway. And then while I was getting that aligned, I also put an alignment block on this end. So instead of having to do it by eye each time, I just close it until it hits that. Well, now that I have blocks of wood on both sides, the track alignment at this joint is absolutely perfect. I should have done it this way right from the start. Well, I have now hooked up the feeder wires. If we look under the section here, they come through. I go through that brace there, along here. And now I'm going to shut the gate, go around the other side. And you can see they come out near the hinge barrel and then go back through on the fixed section. Get around the other side once more. They come out here, and I've left plenty of slack. And this end is also just the same as any other feeder. Well, that wraps up this project and this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it and you found it useful, and I hope to see you again next week. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.